What's going on, everybody? It's me, Ryan, the host of the Classic Buffalo podcast, the podcast that aims to make people feel a little bit less alone by sharing their experiences, their lives, their passions, their pains, their joys, and weaving mental health in and out of everyday conversation. Today, we are talking with a friend of mine, Hughes. She is kind of like a model. She does face painting. She does really, really cool makeup. And she'll talk a little bit about that and her journey through, getting to know herself through makeup. And we get to talk about her passions, her goals, and things that she's gone through and what she thinks about mental health. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today. I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the coronavirus stuff going on. Scheduling has been difficult with people. So we might be slowing down to one a week. So I'm not really sure if this Thursday we'll have an episode, but today we will. And I can kind of go into a little bit more detail at the end of this episode. So please stay tuned to get my thoughts on autumn. As well as kind of plans going forward with everything that's going on with the coronavirus. But without further ado, let's get to know Autumn Hughes, the wonderful human being, in today, Book 50. Here we go. What's going on, Autumn? How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Happy Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Sunday. How many jokes do you get about your name, like just on a weekly basis?
A lot, mostly to do with falling down.
Oh my God. Do you fall down a lot?
No, just people think it's funny to use the play on words with fall. Or I get like autumn bottom. Just really like weird things rhyme with my name.
Yeah. I'm guessing you were born in the fall?
I actually was not. My birthday's in May.
Do your parents not know what season? They didn't want to name you spring?
They did not. My mom just liked the name. That's what she always says.
Well, May's not bad either. Where are you from? Like, talk about growing up.
So I was actually born in Indianapolis. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I live in Franklin Township area, but I did live in Franklin, Indiana for a while because I went to Franklin College for 2 years, and then I went to Ball State for 2 years. So I lived in Muncie for about 3 years as well.
How would you describe Indianapolis to someone who's never been to Indy?
I like the city because it's like not as big as like Chicago and stuff, and like everything is like a little more kind of spread out.
Yeah.
There's still things to do. You just have to look around, and there's a lot of cool people to meet. That's for sure.
So what do you do?
So I work in a retail store right now called Style Encore, and then I also do face painting for a company called Party Blitz, which is a super, super fun job. I do balloons, balloon art, and
balloon art.
Balloon art, yeah, it's so fun.
Do you do animals or like literally anything? Like, sword, like here you go.
So I can't make a lot of things, but we do make swords. I think the coolest thing I can make is a fish on a pole and an air guitar.
Whoa, that's sick. What made you like want to get into like kind of all this stuff?
I started the face painting because I also do makeup, and then my friend who started the business reached out to me, and she was like, "Hey, do you need a job?" And I was like, "What kind of job?" And she started telling me about it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds really fun. So I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and we like travel around when people book parties with us, but it's super fun. I love doing it.
Where's like the farthest you've traveled?
Probably like Champaign, Illinois.
Wow. What's your thoughts on Champaign? I've been thinking about going out there.
So the event that we did there was like a fall festival, and it's like they set it up really nice. A lot of people end up going at this like little store, and it's like decorated all super cute on the inside with like Halloween and like fall decor, and they have like kettle corn people there making kettle corn and arts and crafts.
Kettle corn's the best.
I know, they were popping it right by our tent this year, and I had to go over there and get some.
Where's like your favorite place you've like traveled ever for like any reason?
Probably Denver, Colorado.
Ooh. Why?
There's so much to do there because I've gone there in the winter and in the summer when it was warmer. So in the summer we like went hiking and stuff, and it was just so beautiful out there. And then in the winter we went skiing, which was also super
Dang,
fun.
I've never been skiing.
You should go. It's so much fun. There's a place called Perfect North that's like in Indiana that you could go to.
Really? I feel like I'd fall all the time. Then people start calling me Ryan the Fall Guy. I don't know, some fall joke. So what was it like growing up? Like, did you have a close family, like big family? Talk about just like growing up as a kid.
We did used to live in a smaller neighborhood in this one-story house, and like all the neighborhood kids would all play hide and seek together like every night. So I feel like the community was definitely close. And then I have 3 sisters, so all girls. I'm sure my dad was thrilled about that. One of my sisters lives in LA, and then one of them lives in South Carolina, and then my younger sister still lives in Indiana.
Oh, okay. You guys are all spread out. Where do you like want to go somewhere else?
Thought about maybe moving to like obviously I love Denver, so I've thought about maybe going out there. Also really like going to Chicago just because it's a pretty lively city, and the music scene there is great, and the public transportation is also awesome there.
So like when did your passion for like makeup, music, like all of that kind of stuff, when did that start?
I guess I started wearing makeup like in middle school, but it wasn't like something I was passionate about. I just like, I don't know, I guess when you're a teenager you kind of get into stuff like that, but I was never like good at it. Like I was just like putting bronzer all over my face and stuff.
Getting your
It did
feet
not
wet.
look good, but it was not it. High school I got a little more into it. Like I did like my sister's prom makeup and stuff like that, but it wasn't really until college when I started, I guess college again, like my sophomore, junior year of college, I started getting more into music. I started going to music festivals and stuff, which got me more into like the colorful makeup because
Yeah.
everybody was being dressing really extravagantly, and I was like, oh, okay, like I want to try to do that too. And so I kind of found my niche in that with the color and the fun, bold glitter and all of that.
What attracts you to it, you think?
So I like playing with the colors. Like I try to use the same colors, but then like use them differently. Like I try to never do the same exact look twice because I don't know. I feel like something about it makes it more special because it's just like at the end of the day, it's just gone, and then you're never gonna see it like that ever again.
What is it about like modifying your appearance slash putting on makeup, putting on fashion, like a really cool piece, outfit? Like what is it about that like, is there a deeper meaning or just like, it's just kind of cool?
Because I know a lot of people use makeup because they think, to accentuate certain features or just to make you look better or whatever. But I think it's more kind of like you're expressing the way you feel on the inside, on the outside. Like I feel like a fun, bright person on the inside, so I want to express that outwardly. Same thing with clothing. I like to wear a lot of patterns and bright colors and things that a lot of other people might not really wear. But it's really fun for me.
Yeah. Did you always feel like comfortable like expressing that, or did you have to grow into it?
I definitely feel like I had to grow into it. Like this is like the first time in my life I have like a full wardrobe that I'm like, yeah, like that's actually me. Because I used to just have like a lot of like hand-me-down clothes or just stuff that friends would give me, and like it would fit so I would wear it. But now I actually have stuff that I'm like, that's my style.
How did you like get there?
Definitely going to festivals and stuff like I said earlier, because people just really wear whatever they want there, and I thought that was really inspiring to just see people just wearing stuff and not really caring what other people thought. So then I kind of adopted my own style, and I met a lot of really cool friends. So definitely having a friend group that like is accepting of who I am as a person definitely helps.
Who do you like look up to in either the fashion or the makeup community?
One of them, her Instagram name is Stacy Marie MUA, but she like created this very colorful palette that I love, and she was when I first started doing all of like the cut crease looks and stuff, because I saw her doing them, and I was like, wow, I want to try to do that. And now I've actually gotten pretty good at them. And then just like celebrities that I really like Zendaya because she's just like a really influential woman, I feel like.
What's one of your favorite moments like growing up?
Actually, around like Christmas time, my aunt used to always have like our whole family over at her house, and they would host everyone and have like a big Christmas dinner. And that was like, I don't know, my family, at least my whole family, doesn't like get together very often, so it was always nice to kind of have everyone gather around at her house around the holidays and exchange gifts and just like eat awesome food.
What's your favorite like dish? Your go-to dish?
My aunt makes these cheesy potatoes and they're so
Ooh.
good.
Did you have them on Thanksgiving?
We did,
There
actually.
you go. I can't have cheesy potatoes anymore. I'm like pretty much lactose intolerant, but I'll live vicariously through you.
So sad.
Do you have like kind of goals or aspirations of like, I want to start my own beauty salon, or I want to become a makeup YouTuber, or I want to, just do what I'm doing and keep doing that kind of stuff? Where are you kind of like at mentally?
So I'm still kind of in my beginning stages. I definitely want to start filming tutorials and get on YouTube because I finally feel like I'm at a point now where I'm good enough to actually do that. I already take makeup clients. I'm trying to kind of build up my clientele more. That way I can do more faces and just... and then I definitely want to maybe like make my own makeup line one day that has like a lot of color and like funky like lipsticks and stuff, because a lot of the brands I see now are like a lot of like neutral shades, and I like never really use neutral shades, like ever.
Yeah. Didn't Kylie Jenner come out with her own makeup line? Am I thinking of that right?
She does have one, yeah.
Because I remember that was kind of like a big deal when she like did that, right?
Yeah, it was. I actually have never tried her products. I don't know why. I just haven't.
I didn't know you hated Kylie Jenner. That's sad. I'm kidding. Man, what are your thoughts on the Kardashians?
I don't keep up with them. I've seen the show. I know a lot of people really love them. I definitely feel like they can be a little obnoxious at times, but
do you think, this is a good question. When do you think it's appropriate for someone to start wearing makeup? Like, is there an age, you think?
I feel like as long as like the parents are okay with it, like, I don't know, I guess it depends what like the reason behind it is. Like, you don't want to make like young girls or even guys, if they like to wear makeup, feel like they like need it or like they have to wear it to like look better. But if it's more in like a creative, like, you should kind of let them explore that outlet a little more.
That's smart.
It's just like video games or anything with like younger guys. Like if you're just something you're interested in, then I don't see the point in stunting it just because it's makeup.
Right. Yeah. If your kid is expressing interest in anything, you gotta like pay attention to it,
Exactly. Like you could just be like, you can't wear it out of the house, but you can still do it or something. Like if you don't want them wearing it out.
What's been like kind of the mental aspect? Have you ever dealt with anxiety or depression across your life, and kind of like, can you talk anything about that?
Yeah, I have struggled with anxiety for a long time. Like when I was in middle school, I guess this kind of got me into makeup too, because I don't know if you have ever heard of trichotillomania. It's like when
Pulling the
you
hair?
like get... Yeah, so I used to do that to my eyebrows, which is how I started filling in my eyebrows. So I guess that's kind of how I began wearing makeup, was just to kind of look better, because I was like, oh my god, I have no eyebrows. This looks so terrible.
Yeah, I had a friend who had that.
It's hard to deal with because obviously, since it's an anxiety thing, sometimes you don't even like realize you're doing it.
Really?
It was just it was like a compulsive kind of thing. Like you just do it and you're like, why am I doing this?
Wow. So makeup was kind of like the coping aspect of that. How was, I don't know, can you give any more background on the whole situation, or kind of how you got out of it or kind of alleviated the anxiety?
So I did start wearing makeup. This was before I was really using it as like a creative thing. I was just trying to do anything to make it look better. But one thing I used to do to kind of get away from that was I used to take like ribbon and like pull it into like little strands, you know, kind of something to keep my fingers occupied so that I wasn't messing with my hair
Right.
much. It did work. I eventually stopped doing it. I
Mm-hmm.
still like bite the insides of my lips sometimes when I get really anxious, but at least you can't see that on the outside of my
True.
face.
Do you have like kind of any like recent issues with it, or like kind of how you normally cope with it?
Well, I don't really struggle with it anymore. I mean, I still definitely like get anxious sometimes,
Right.
but I think that I've gotten a lot better at like dealing with it. Now I really do. If I'm feeling anxious, I'll just do my makeup and I'll do something super extravagant, or I'll paint my face like a skeleton or
Yeah.
something
Sounds
something fun and
that's
creative.
good. Sounds like you have a good kind of grip on it, or it's not as effective, on you as much, at least right now,
Yeah.
which is that's good. Where do you think we're like kind of at with mental health like today?
I definitely think that it could be better. I feel like it's not like people don't want to talk about it because there's like a huge stigma around mental illness still, even though like a lot of people struggle with it. So it's kind of interesting that people don't really like to talk about it. But I feel like if people talked about it more, people would be more willing to get help. But even then, like, the services aren't as accessible as they really should be.
Do you have any tips for the younger person, or just maybe regardless of age, but just someone who's maybe a little bit afraid to go for it?
I definitely feel like anything in life, like, you have to do it for yourself. Like, you have to do it because you want to do it and stop worrying about what other people are really going to think about it, because it's your life and you just have to live it to the fullest no matter what. You know, when I first started kind of expressing myself, like, I started doing those things because I wanted to do them. And I think it's okay to be nervous because you're always like, how are people going to react? But you just honestly have to kind of not care. Once you kind of start putting yourself out there, you kind of realize, like, it's okay to be yourself. You just kind of have to do it. You know what I mean? You just have to start somewhere and just do it. And then it gets easier.
Yeah, you have to fail, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's okay to fail sometimes.
Is it?
Yeah, I've failed many times in my life, but you just got to keep going and keep trying.
Do you have like an example of that?
I definitely know that, like, I have had problems with, like, being consistent, which I feel like sometimes if you're not consistent, you kind of, like, drop off the map and stop doing the things that you're doing. Like, I've been trying to grow, like, obviously my talent in makeup, but also just, like, with social media and stuff, because social media is a huge part of what I'm trying to do, makeup-wise and career-wise. You know, there will be times where I'll be really consistent with it for a while, and then I'll kind of drop off, and then, like, just drop off the face of the planet for a while. And then I'll come back, and I'll be doing really good again, and then I'll stop. And so it's kind of just, like, trying to keep the motivation of just, if there's something that you really want to do, you really just have to stick to it and constantly be pushing toward whatever that thing is.
What's like something doesn't even have to be in makeup or whatever. What's something you've learned recently?
Networking when it comes to things you want to do in your career is, like, way more important than I thought it was. Whenever I was still in school, I was a sociology major, and, you know, they talk a lot about networking and making the right connections with people, and I was like, whatever, like, exposure is, like, the most important thing. Like, I just thought, do more faces or do more whatever and just post it, and that's enough. But honestly, like, putting yourself out there, sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable to, like, talk to people you don't know or go somewhere new. But I think that putting yourself out of your comfort zone is actually, like, really important. Since I was saying I have anxiety a lot of the time earlier, it can be kind of hard to, like, go out and do new things and talk to people that I don't know, but you still have to do them.
Yeah. Social anxiety sucks.
It does.
That's always been really hard for me, is when you go to a party and there's like groups of 2 or 3 people all talking together, and then you either came alone or you know someone but they're already talking to other people, and you're like, what do I do?
I know that really is the worst. It's like, do I go infiltrate the group or do I stand here awkwardly?
Yeah, like sneak in like a ghost and just kind of like, hi, like, who's this person? Still working on that myself too, but
Yeah, me too, but gotten a little better at it at least.
right. What is a funny or memorable moment from like doing makeup fashion? Something like maybe a deep impact on, like, oh my, someone was really impacted or thought what you were wearing that one time was really cool, or
Go to festivals. I wear stuff that I would not normally wear on the street, and I feel like I always get a lot of compliments and stuff on what I'm wearing, and that makes me really happy. Run into people who kind of have like similar kind of style as you or something, and then you kind of connect with them right away. Like, I have a friend that I have known for 5 years now, and I met him just at a music festival, and we were just like, hey, like, you're really cool, and we've been friends all this time just because we had like similar aesthetic.
wow, that's cool.
Kind of crazy how you can connect with people based on stuff like style and stuff.
I think it's so interesting how we've, like, just as a society, started to meet people over the internet.
Like, when I was younger, my parents were like, don't talk to strangers on the internet. Don't get into random people's cars. Now we have Uber.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Literally order some random stranger and their car to come get you.
Where do you think we're going?
Honestly, that's a really good question. I don't know. Because there's Airbnb now, too. You can rent out people's houses. Uber and Airbnb, like, they don't, like, Uber doesn't own any of their own cars. It's just, like, a network of people.
I was thinking about that, like a shower thought of how, like, unless you work in your house, but even then, like, you, just the amount of time you don't spend in your house, but then you have to pay hundreds of dollars for rent.
True. I feel like I'm never home.
Yeah. Just so you have an 8-hour, rental. What do you do for other people when they're going through like a tough time?
I definitely feel like it kind of depends on the person, but if it's like one of your friends or something, you kind of have to know like what they respond to, I guess. So kind of paying attention to people enough to be like, oh, my friend's upset, and what will make her feel better is just if we sit around and just talk all day. But some people don't want to talk. Some people like want to go out and get a drink, or some people want to have their makeup done, or some people want to like go get a massage. So it just kind of depends on the person. So just kind of trying to understand each person enough to know like what they're actually going to respond to.
Yeah, that's good. What's your like go-to love language?
Definitely like quality time.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That and physical touch. I didn't realize that until, like, I think once I started getting massages like pretty frequently, like every like 2 weeks, I was like, oh shoot, this actually feels nice.
Yeah, I've only had one massage ever.
What?
It definitely was nice. It was.
Everybody should get a massage every single day. Every day. No.
I was like nervous to go. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this random person rubbing all over me.
I got my first massage was a foot massage. That's when I found out I was ticklish in my feet. It was the most like rough experience ever, like trying not to laugh. Like it was.
That's me when I get pedicures. I just can't get them. I'll like kick the poor lady in her face. My feet are so ticklish.
So if I was to say like what's your passion? Like what are you passionate about?
I would just say creating in general. Like, I like doing creative things, whether it's makeup or like I help run like the social media account at our work, and I like style outfits and stuff. Or I like modeling a little bit. Like, I do photo shoots mostly for fun, because I like doing the makeup for them, and I like I'm camera shy, but I still like getting behind the camera because it kind of puts me out of my comfort zone. So I like just doing anything that has to do with like fashion or creating in general. It just makes me feel good inside. So I love doing it. Two of my closest friends, one of them, her name is Dominique, and the other one's name is Skylar. I met both of them in college, but they're both just so great. Skylar she lives in North Carolina now because she moved on me. How dare she? I would always go hang out at her house, and she is like an amazing cook. So she's also vegan, so she would make me like really good vegan food that I've never tried before. But she's always so sweet, and she's helped me through a lot of really difficult times. And then my friend, I call her Diamond for short, or Dimes. She was my little in my sorority, which I'm not a part of the sorority anymore, just because it was expensive. But she was my little, and we formed a really close relationship, and we're still friends to this day. So
You have to pay for a
great.
sorority?
Yes, there's like dues and
What?
it's crazy expensive.
Are you pro or, well, I don't want to put you on blast here with your sorority, but like, are you pro or anti-sorority fraternity?
Really neither. I think it just kind of depends on if it's for you or not, because it's not for everyone. You know, it's a great way to meet people if you're in college, just like rushing in general, because you can, like, I rushed Franklin when I went there. It was a small university, so there was only 3 sororities there. And then when I transferred to Ball State, I transferred chapters, but there was like way more sororities, so it was kind of like weird because I always kind of wondered like if I would have maybe picked a different chapter, if I would have like been there all 4 years. Because the chapters are different everywhere you go. It's not like it's the same kind of group at every school.
What's like a recommendation for like someone who's about to graduate college in the next 6 months or whatever? Like someone who's about to enter the adult life. What's something you learned like kind of first couple years out?
I guess put some consideration into what it is that you are actually passionate about and what you like actually want to do. Because I have my sociology degree, but I am not using it right now, and I don't know if I ever will. Like, I loved learning everything, but I never could think of a single thing that I actually wanted to do with it, like, in the field. Like, I was like, I just don't know where to even go with this, and I just went nowhere with it.
Same. Sports management.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pursuing more makeup now because that's what I'm truly passionate about. But like when I was entering school, I wish that I had maybe, because I knew I was into makeup, but I was like, oh, I can't do that as a career. But it's like, yeah, you can. Like, if that's what you want to do, you can do it. You just have to make it happen. So, because Ball State actually has fashion as a major, so it would have been cool if I would have like done that instead, because that would have been way more beneficial for me.
Is there like a designer you follow, or like, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple. Like, I feel like I ask this question a lot, but like Kanye West, like people are like, or like Pharrell, or like Virgil Abloh at Off-White, and like he's with Louis Vuitton, right? But like, are there ones you just like, oh, I can't wait to see what XYZ does, or just you kind of don't really follow it that much?
I don't really follow any specific people. I always like watching like the big fashion shows though, to kind of see what people put out, because I'm always like, ooh, like that's interesting. Like Lady Gaga's outfit this year, I don't remember what it was for. It was like the Met Gala or something, but she had like a super just like fancy outfit on, and it was like really over the top, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow.
Did you see the whole Lizzo thing?
No.
So Lizzo wore a thong to the Lakers game and was like front row and was like twerking.
Oh my gosh.
Is that?
I'm sure that got a mixed response.
Yeah, I was curious. Is that an appropriate outfit for a basketball game front row?
I personally wouldn't go for that, but I mean, more power to her if she feels like she's comfortable doing that, I guess.
Yeah. People were like, don't do that like at a Lakers game.
Like, oh my God, there's children
Right.
here.
I get, well, because people were like, well, I guess it might be different if she was performing, but like she just was there. What are your thoughts on Lizzo?
I mean, I only know like a few of her songs. I definitely am not like crazy about her. Like, I don't like hate her music. I
Right.
don't know if I would buy like a concert ticket to go see
Yeah.
her, but
Who are you like a fan of? Are there any couple?
I listen to a lot of like electronic and like house kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Grizz, Deadmau5, Armin van Buuren, Dramatic, Big G. I definitely like those like funky EDM kind of
Yeah.
people who like incorporate like the saxophone and like all those like funky instruments.
Have you been to like Burning Man? Would you ever go?
I would love to go to Burning Man. I have not been yet though. I did go to EDC like 2 years ago, and that was pretty cool.
What other ones are? Is Coachella count or no?
Coachella is one. EDC was just cool because it was all EDM, and I feel like people really go all out with the
Mm-hmm.
outfits and everything at those. So those are my favorite to go to. But Coachella, people definitely wear awesome stuff to Coachella too, but I haven't been to that one yet either.
Is there like a lot of people like doing drugs though?
It kind of sucks because I feel like it kind of gives it kind of like a bad reputation, you know?
Can't remember what it was for, but I'm pretty sure I've heard of this. But I think there's festivals. This may be international or something, but there's it was like maybe a big festival that you could bring your drugs that you were gonna do to the festival ahead of time, and they would check
No way.
the purity of it because they knew you were gonna do it because
Oh,
they knew you were gonna do it anyway. But they just wanted to make
I
sure
guess
it
that's
was
one way I used to keep people from like ODing on potentially dangerous
right.
things. I know that fentanyl and all of that has been a huge
Oh
problem.
yeah, that accidental stuff.
I know. It's always so sad and so unfortunate. It's really scary, honestly.
Yeah.
Since I mean, I don't do them anymore, but I
Mm-hmm.
definitely played sports probably from the time I was 5 and then all the way up through high school. And then because I just kind of lost the passion for it. But
Right. Yeah.
I like sports though. I played basketball, softball, and then track and cross country and soccer. So I did a
Dang.
few.
All right. Now we are going to do the final five. I gotta get a theme song for it. But number one, what is a goal for 2020?
Goal for 2020, definitely to finally make my YouTube channel and start filming. Oh man, if I could bring, definitely for food, probably potatoes, because there's so many awesome ways to make
Good
potatoes, and
point.
they're always good.
And if they have cheese on the island, the cheesy potatoes. There you go.
For sure, yeah. But then it's like, can I bring cheese? Because
You can smuggle
kind of
cheese
important.
in this.
Person, probably my friend Diamond is just the realest, and we have so much fun together. I guess it would be smart to bring something to cook potatoes in, so maybe like a skillet or something.
It's a very potato-centric answer. Are you Irish?
I'm not. I'm just very food motivated.
that's the motto. Food motivated.
There we go.
What is your favorite part of yourself?
So I'm not really scared to be myself, which I feel like is a good thing because I know some people do have a hard time being themselves,
Yeah.
which is super sad. I guess probably the makeup artist I was saying that I follow earlier, Stacey Marie MUA, just because she does all color, which I like about her. Or actually, mine, because Lady Gaga just came out with her own makeup brand. It's called House Labs, and it would be super fun to work with Lady Gaga.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
You get to go to dinner with anyone in the world that's alive. Who do you go with?
Somebody like Adam Sandler, somebody who's hilarious, would be awesome to go out to dinner
That's
with and
good.
just make me laugh the whole time.
Where do you go to eat?
So probably someplace with some really bomb queso.
Qdoba or Chipotle?
Qdoba.
There you go. It's been decided. It's official. Sweet, we made it. We're basically going to do this one thing where I want you to pick one person, significant other, family friend, family member, doesn't matter, but you're going to shout them out and encourage them. It's basically your opportunity to pour into another person. Just, hey, Janice, thanks so much for blah, 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 blah. You're awesome, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever you want to do.
All right, I will do a shout out to my friend Diamond. Shout out to you, Diamond, because I just love you so much, and I know that life can be a little tough sometimes, but you just got to take the struggles and the ups and downs, and you just got to run with them and know that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and that things will always look up.
Diamonds are forever. Sweet.
Perfect ending.
Well, hey, thanks so much for joining me. You're an awesome person, and it means a lot for you to be supporting me, not only through my vintage stuff, but then just, you know, this podcast, and we're trying to just share people's stories.
That's great. I tried the sweater on. It looks awesome.
Good.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Sweet. Well, hey, I'll be in touch, and I'll let you know when it goes up, okay?
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Hey everybody, this is Ryan from the Classic Buffalo Podcast. Wanted to take a second to talk about Anchor, how I'm actually making this podcast happen. Super happy that I'm partnering with them. So, Anchor is actually the easiest way to make a podcast. I've done my research. This is basically the best way. I promise. It's going to give you everything you need in one place for free, which is the best part. It's going to have tools, so you don't really need a fancy schmancy recording guy. Anchor's going to be helping you out there, and then they're going to distribute the podcast everywhere to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, everything. And then you can also make money with basically no minimum listenership, which is kind of rare. So hop on Anchor as soon as you can. Thanks. Welcome to the outro. Thanks so much, Autumn, for joining me on the podcast. You are a gem of a person. I'm so glad to call you friend, and continually excited, always happy for you, and really curious to see where you go with makeup and fashion, because, you're really talented, and, there's a place for you in this world. So excited for you. But yeah. I thought it was really cool what Autumn did for like the festivals and the conventions. I've always wanted to do more conventions, to get into the anime or the cosplay. I've never cosplayed just because, I don't know, I feel like that's too weird, to dress up as a character from a video game or a cartoon or a TV show. And I don't have a lot of friends, but that are into that. And so it's always just kind of been a personality trait that I've kind of ignored or kept in the private area of my life. And I've just been curious, now when I hear, people who go to raves and people who go to conventions, and then they get to make friends there, and they get to feel more like themselves. Every time I hear somebody talk about that, it makes me go right, maybe you should do XYZ, and so yeah, maybe that's my next step, or next thing I can need to be trying is to lean into that side of me that I'm not really giving a lot of attention to as much as I could, so it's people like that, Autumn, that inspire me. So thank you for just talking about that, and just your journey through fashion. And it's really interesting that you mentioned the hair pulling thing, because I had a friend, and it's a very vivid memory of it was one of the first couple times I was hanging out with her. And can't remember exactly. We were just hanging out, basically stargazing, just shooting the shit. And I think she either pulled off of her he pulled her weave off, or extensions. And it was I was totally shocked, because she just, you could tell that this thing was she was hiding, the fact that she was pulling her actual hair out due to anxiety and just this addiction and just this thing that she struggles with. It's a real issue, and so I know how debilitating that can be. And she had to wear, my friend had to wear a wig, basically, or extensions. I can't remember which, but still it was noticeable when she took it off that there were patches of her hair missing. And just that was a very eye-opening experience to know somebody was just dealing with this pain, but, you're basically wearing a hat all day, or just you're hiding this pain from people. So, Autumn, there's a lot of strength in there for you to have gone through that and to kind of come out the other side a little bit. So, thank you so much for keep fighting, Yeah, I don't know if it's still an issue. It didn't sound like too much, but, I can kind of relate in that and just, I didn't really have to struggle with it necessarily. I had my own hair issues. I was bullied basically to a point where I had to cut my hair because I was called gay. Fun fact, not really fun, but yeah, that's why I had like really short hair for I had long hair for a long time, and then I cut it and made it short because people were making fun of it for being long, and then I just never cut it ever, or I just cut it every time to keep it short so nobody would make fun of me for having long hair. And now I'm bald. And now I'm just rocking it. Just leaning into the bald guy look, going for that Bruce Willis. But, yeah. Tips and tricks, guys. I hope you were able to pick up some stuff from what Autumn said. I hope you maybe related. If you want to start something, just do it. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. But, as Autumn can attest, you can still be the goofy person that, can stumble and still be successful and still be happy. You can be a failure necessarily, but you're not really labeled a failure. So don't label yourself that. You could fail, but that doesn't make you a failure. And I don't know, someone said failure isn't failure or something like that, but it's just delayed success. And I thought that was a really cool way to look at failure. So maybe look at it that way. But seriously, if there's that one thing you want to start, there's that one thing you want to do, you want to move to Arizona, you want to do something, do it. Now's the time. Even if you're 45, you should do it. That one thing. Or a couple of things. Whatever you want. You only live once. It's cliche and probably stupid, but it's true. A lot of times cliches are cliche because they're true. So, and you deserve to be happy. Person who's listening to this. It's a little tough right now, just with the coronavirus, knowing that social distancing is going to become more of a thing and that not interacting with people as much. So please be aware of that, of how to have self-care, or at least be concentrating on how can I do a better job of that. Maybe reach out to me. I could always use a friend too. I'm going through it too, I'm having to work remotely all of this week. Restaurants and bars just closed down in Indiana, or at least Indianapolis, I know that. So they're only doing takeout orders, but my own apartment complex gym is closed. You can't even work out. I think the YMCA will be closed too. I'm sure Lifetime Fitness and all those other places. So finding a place to work out is going to be a new thing. There's a lot of stuff that as a society we're going to be going through. So take it easy on yourself. That there's a lot of people having to deal with a lot of financial issues, a lot of social issues, you extroverts especially. But just kind of be aware in this time and try and find little moments of being grateful or gratitude if you can. Trying to get a hold of people to record episodes has been slightly difficult in this time. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to do 2 episodes a week yet. I might be switching back to 1 until we can kind of make some progress and things go back to normal a little bit. But there will be an episode next Monday, so please look out for that. If you'd like to be on another episode, and we can talk about ducks, we can talk about fashion, sports, music, whatever you want, traveling, that thing you went through, thing you're going through, things you want to do, whatever you want. Let's hop on the podcast. We'll get an hour's worth of content. And if we can't meet up in person, we can do a phone call, which I'm working on those because this app's not really working that well for that anymore. I'm thinking of you. Hopefully you're thinking of me. And if you know me personally and are able to hang out with me or, kind of at least just reach out and just say, hey, I hope you're doing well. I love that. And if you don't know me that well, and that's kind of weird, do it for your best friend. Do it for someone that you know well. A little text goes a long way. So until next time, guys, it's been me, hopefully one of your top 5 hosts of a podcast, Ryan. Bye, guys.